Hello and welcome to Froch on Fighting with me, Carl Froch, aka the Cobra, former unified super middleweight world boxing champion and international boxing Hall of Famer. So let's start off with the news of Oleksandr Usyk has vacated all of his heavyweight titles. The former three-time undisputed champ. Don't forget he was undisputed champion at cruiserweight and 2 times undisputed heavyweight champ. He's beaten everybody in the heavyweight division. When I say everybody, all the so-called best ones, all the world champions. Don't forget, twice against Fury, twice against AJ. He's done Dubois twice. He was also, as I've just mentioned, a former undisputed cruiserweight champion. He beat Tony Bellew, didn't he? When Tony Bellew did, to be great, fair play to him. And he's basically completed the game. He's done everything he needs to do. I didn't really want to see Usyk fight Rico. He didn't need to fight again. After he beat Dubois for the second time, I would have liked to have seen him call it a day. You saw how emotional he was after that fight. 90,000 at Wembley Stadium. I think there was 90,000 there. Wembley Stadium. Completed the game. Done everything in the cruiserweight division and the heavyweight division. And he's getting old. He's like 38, 39 years old when he beat Dubois in that rematch. And that would have been a time for me to bow out. All them people at Wembley, beating everybody he needed to beat. Nothing left to prove. Absolute master of the boxing game. The art of pugilism completely clocked. Why are you going to fight on? Obviously, the old Bunsen burner comes into play. He's got a team around him. And if he can earn big money and have a fight that he knows he's going to win or it's going to be steady for him, i.e. the Rico fight, then why not? But it could have gone wrong, couldn't it, for him? I mean, that fight was quite hard for him. I think it was probably a little bit of age, a little bit of motivation. Maybe his training camp wasn't brilliant for that because he wasn't motivated. But either way, it wasn't a great performance. But for all of those that are saying he was lucky to get the stoppage, just remember, he did batter Rico. He got him out of there in round 11, punched his head in towards the end of the round. The ref probably could have let it go on, but round 12 would have been much of the same. He'd have got the stoppage. So he's got the job done. So what does he do now? He said he's vacating all the titles, WBA, WBC, IBF. You know, all them ones that are behind me, the red, the green and the black one. All the major ones. Obviously, WBO is held by Daniel Dubois after beating Fabio Wardley in that cracking fight. So he's WBO champ. So why is he fighting? I think it's just going to be more money and probably a legacy fight, just a finisher offer. Why not? He's going to get paid massive money. He's at that stage now in his career where he's going to get paid big money, pretty much regardless of who he fights. And if he can fight somebody like, and I'm thinking at the top of my head here, a Rico rematch, because people do want to see that. And I think Deontay Wilder, because of the name. He's a big name, and he didn't look bad against Chisora. I know Chisora and Wilder are both pretty much finished, but Wilder looked all right in his last fight against Chisora. So that would be a legacy fight for Oleksandr Usyk to finish off, make a right good few quid. He'd probably make, tens of millions. Probably won't make 100 million, but he'd make tens of millions for a fight that really he's going to be a massive favourite for. So why not? Can't fault him. He will be thinking to himself, or realising, age is catching up with him. How much desire and motivation have I got? And what else do I need to do in the game? And a fight with Agit Caballo might be a bit risky. There might be a few people saying he swerved him. He hasn't swerved him. He's beaten everybody he needs to beat. Agit Caballo now has been elevated to WBC title, by the way. He's got the green and gold belt. And the other two are vacant. So the powers that be maybe chuck the WBC or the, not the WBC, the IBF or the WBA in the mix for the AJ and Tyson Fury fight that's supposed to be happening. We'll get into that in a minute. But this is about Oleksandr Usyk, and what a guy. Nothing left to do. Unbelievable talent, unbelievable fighter. A fan of the Cobra, obviously. Froch on Fighting fan. He's been on here before. We did some of our biggest numbers of Usyk. He's such a big name. It's going to be sad to see him go, but for me, it's the right decision. One more fight, big payday, sail off into the sunset, sir. So, as mentioned there, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. It looks like the fight's going to be happening in America, probably Las Vegas. There's no definite guarantees. Nobody's announced anything. But all the noise around this fight now leans towards the fight happening in the States. And I've got to be honest, that is an absolute fucking piss take. And I'm swearing because it's out of order. The British fans are getting absolutely shafted. But this is allegedly the biggest fight in British boxing history. You've got Ben Eubank, you've got me and Groves, and me and Eddie Hearn had it often. We had an argument or a civil chat about what's the biggest fight in British boxing history. This fight now between AJ and Fury might be for one of the vacant titles. It might be the WBC, it might be the IBF. No, it won't be the BC. It might be the IBF or the WBA. That gives it a bit more credence in America because don't forget the Americans will look at AJ and say, okay, he got splattered by Ruiz. And they'll look at Fury and say, he had the trilogy with Wilder. So the names are big out there, but they're not as big as in Britain. You've got two British heavyweight fighters, former world champions, fighting in the biggest fight in British boxing history. And it's not going to be on British soil. Just taking the piss out of the fans. It's bang out of order. Like I said, there's nothing confirmed yet, but all the noise around it. Spencer Brown the other day said, yeah, it's going to be cold. You don't want to be in a stadium in November when it's cold. Who gives a shit if it's cold? It's the biggest fight in British boxing history against two British fighters, heavyweights, in a fight that needs to happen. So if it goes over to the States, there's nobody really that can agree, other than money, that this fight should be happening over there. Is there an element of it that Eddie Hearn, who said this fight is definitely... He's gone back on his word, by the way. He said this fight's in Britain. But is there an element, I was going to say, him and Dana White's little tiff that they're having, back and forth, is Dana White thinking, you know what, fuck Eddie Hearn, I'm going to get this fight in America. That'll piss him off. Eddie signed Tom Aspinall, which isn't a major thing, but he's got some influence now on Tom Aspinall's career, and he's putting a bit of a spanner in the works for Dana White, and he's trying to kind of expose the UFC and the amount of money that gets paid. And Dana White's probably thinking, you know what, fuck you. Let's get this fight over there. I'm now involved. And if that's the case, that means the egos have got involved, and that's taken away from the British fans. So it's just wrong on every level. These two fighters, Fury and AJ, if they do fight, this fight should be happening on British soil. You can't give me an argument for anything other. I mean, I know the money's going to be there. MGM in Las Vegas, the casino in Las Vegas, might pay a buyout fee, which means they pay big money just to get the fight there. But 80,000 tickets at Wembley Stadium is going to be expensive anyway. But do these guys need the money? Netflix are going to be involved. They've both made over 100 million. They're both absolutely flying financially. So what's an extra 10 million when you've got 150 million in your bank? I'm sure it don't make much difference. But it's about honouring the fans and honouring the people that have been there from the start of your career, people that have bought tickets time after time, after you've been beat up, after you've lost your titles, after you've tried to come back, after you've said a few things that's pissed a few people off. You know, I don't want to go into details, but the fans have stuck by the side of Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury through thick and thin. And if these two are now coming together for a fight, this fight should be in Britain. So finally, just to finish on this rant, a message to the powers that be, the promoters, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Zuffer, Dana White, Turki Al-Sheikh, whoever's making that final decision. Are you going to ask the British fans to spend, give or take, $5,000 on a flight out of here to Vegas, ticket for the show, hotels, all the costs, expenses, etc., or watch it at 4 a.m. on Netflix? Either of them's hard work. Or you're going to stick it on in Britain at one of the stadiums. Stick it on at Wembley, stick it on at Principality in Cardiff, put it at Tottenham Hotspurs, make it easier for the British fans and give them back everything what they've done to this sport. They've supported these two guys for the whole career, and now you're kicking them right in the stones. Let me know what you think in the comments, but come on, let's be reasonable. So finally, just to finish, I can't come on here and not mention Big John Fury, the fighting man. He's gone quiet again. He talks the good one, doesn't he? Talks the absolute gobshite out of himself. Doesn't fucking stop going on and on and on and on and on and fighting, man. He doesn't shut up. Punching walls. And then it gets put onto him. John, what we're doing? Are we fighting? I think DAZN's been onto him. I think Misfits have been onto him. Calisal and the promoter. They've all been onto him saying, John, what's happening? Are we fighting or not? He's got into hiding. He's vanished. Does anybody know where John Fury is? I might have to check in the cupboard. He's vanished. He's gone. So just know when you listen to him next time or you watch him punching a wall, just know what you already know. This is confirmation. Big John Fury is not a fighting man. I'm going to start calling him Little John, actually. He's absolutely full of total gobshite, which I've said before. But this has confirmed it 100%. Big John, unless he comes out of the woodwork in the next couple of days, I think there's a meeting going on at some stage, but I don't want to hear it. It's been over 2 weeks now since he ran his mouth, punched the wall up, gave it the big one, and now he's vanished. So, unfortunately, nothing to report. And don't forget, I'm not the one who wants this fight. I'm the one that's accepted the challenge. He's called it on with me. I'm saying, let's do it. And then he's saying, oh, is that the time? I've got somewhere else to be. It's pathetic. So that's the end of Big John Fury. And he's not a fighting man. So that's it for another episode of Froch on Fighting. A little bit of housekeeping before I go. Hrgovic and Moses Atama. Good little fight that is. Hrgovic has only lost to Dubois, and he was landing on Dubois one and giving him a good fight. So that's a nice little step up for Moses Atama before he realises whether he does or doesn't belong at world level. I think he does. He's a great fighter. But this is a good little fight. I'm looking forward to it. August 29th, I believe, in the UK. So that's one to look forward to. Elsewhere, I don't know if you saw it, Boots Ennis, what a fighter. He got the job done against Xander Zayas. That was, I think he was down 2 or 3 times, round 1. Round 3 was an absolute humdinger. I enjoyed that. and he got him out of there by about round 7. So great fighter, Boots Ennis. Another one to watch back if you've not seen it. I'd like to see Boots Ennis fight Virgil Ortiz Jr. actually at 154, which is the weight he was at the other night. I mean, that's a big fight in America. It's probably one I'd go out to watch. Let me know what you think. And also, friends of the channel, Teofimo Lopez and Roland Romero, they're fighting each other. That's a great fight. Looking forward to that one. Jack Catra will be taking a close look at that, maybe fighting the winner. Let me know who you think wins that one. But it's another one I'm looking forward to. I might even go out to America for that. It's a big one. We're going to go out to America, Manny. Why not? Let's do it. Let's go. Business class all the way. Finally, finished on Floyd Mayweather. There's a bit of story about him and Manny Pacquiao fighting, or not, as the case may now be. I don't know what's going off. I'm reading reports that Floyd Mayweather's managed to blow hundreds of millions of pounds. He's got the IRS on his case. I mean, what is going off here? If anyone actually knows what's going off, let me know in the comments. But yeah, it's just a crazy story. Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest of all times, and he's now fighting in 6-round fights against nobodies at small shows. What is going off? How has he managed to blow that much money? It's just such a crazy story. I mean, it was similar with Mike Tyson, wasn't it? And Evander Holyfield made hundreds of millions and managed to blow it. But I sincerely hope that Floyd Mayweather hasn't blown all his cash, because what a guy. But if he carries on fighting and he ends up getting beat, it's going to destroy his legacy and his name. It's sad to see, really, but I hope he comes out on top. So that's about it now for another episode of Froch on Fighting. Not been busy because of the World Cup. Enjoying watching that at the minute. We're going to probably get a guest on next week. Let me know in the comments below if there's anybody particularly you want me to get on. You know the Cobra, you know Froch on Fighting, our role. We can get anybody. They're dealing with the champ, the Cobra, Hall of Famer. You know our role. If you haven't already, hit like, share, and subscribe to the best channel in the business. And we'll see you very soon. God bless.